Hello mini pilots! So a few weeks ago I made this video where I was doing some stunt flying and I was flying my Mavic Mini through some trees. Okay, it's not that amazing, but it's good fun to do, and the Mavic Mini being so small makes it easier to get through smaller gaps, and it can be fun to get this into your footage. Now I got hundreds of comments saying how great this was. Okay, I got 3 comments that mentioned it, but one of them did have 2 likes. So I've decided to make this video to show you how you can bomb through the trees like a sparrowhawk. Let's get started. Now when trying to fly through small gaps, if you have the fly more combo, I would recommend using the Propeller Guards. Now I didn't do this personally because the fly more combo also comes with spare propellers. The first method I'd recommend trying would be the Lineofsight Method. Obviously this just means we're going to be watching our drone all the time. To do this, I've raised the drone to my eye level and I've stood behind it and I've aimed it towards the gap I want it to pass through. Once you've done this, hold your breath and then just push forwards on the throttle and I hope you manage to get it through. Now I had to do a little swerve there to stop me getting knocked out of the sky, but in the final piece of footage it's fairly smooth. Another thing I would mention is I don't recommend trying to spin the drone around and flying it back towards yourself because obviously the controls will be reversed and it can get confusing and you don't want to fall out the sky. Now we're going to look at how to fly our drone through small gaps using the FPV or first person view, which basically means, if you don't know, we're going to be just looking at our phone and guide it through using the camera. Now this part of the video was shot in the coronavirus pandemic and I couldn't actually leave my house to go out and shoot, so I had to make a small gap in the back garden. So may I introduce to you comprised of 4 chairs, 37 blocks and a 50cm gap. It collapsed before I finished filming the intro. Now there's 2 things we want to do before we even take off. The first thing is to make sure we've got the gimbal set to 0. So if you've got upward gimbal rotation on, I recommend turning this off. If you haven't done this before, just go to settings, go to control and advanced gimbal settings, and then where it says allow upward gimbal rotation, switch that off. Doing this will help us stop getting confused at what height we are flying at. The second thing is to make sure we have the crosshair in the middle of the screen. If you don't already have this on, just go over to camera, scroll down to advanced shooting settings and then select the icon on the far right, which is the little dot in the screen. If you want, you can turn on the other 2 grids, but I just usually use the crosshair. Once we've done that, we are ready to go. So from here, obviously we want to take off and get our drone into position. So here what I'm doing is I'm turning my drone towards the Archway of Doom and I'm trying to line up the crosshair to make sure it's aimed through the gap. Now, oh yeah, also remember to turn on Sin Smooth mode. Okay, so once we get to here, we're going to make sure the crosshair isn't touching any obstacles that we are going to be flying through, and as long as the crosshair isn't touching any of these things, it's usually a pretty good indicator that we can fly straight through. So hold your breath and make sure you don't hit your camera on the other side. So I was quite happy with that, and you can breathe out. So I'm going to spin it back round and give it another go, and there you can see on the right of the screen I'm looking only at the screen and not at the drone. So again, hold your breath and go full throttle through. Marvellous. So now if we look at the footage through the drone's point of view, we're going to line it up. Obviously you can't see the cross now. Oh yeah, make sure you press forwards and not up. But here it is going through the gap. And hit the brakes. And the shot going through the other way. There we go. And now I'm going to change to this view, just so you can see how big the gap is compared to the drone. Now the drone itself is going to be 30cm wide and the gap is 50cm wide, leaving 10cm either side if you fly through perfectly. So now you have all the information you need to do this yourself. If you do decide to give it a go, I would love to see the results. Feel free to post them in the comment section down below. If you found this video useful, hitting the like and subscribe button is a great way to help, and it also keeps me motivated to make more videos similar to this. So that's it for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.